Hello everyone, it's me again, Mr. D. Crescenzi, Double D. What I'd like to talk to you today about is something that we ended our session on Tuesday regarding the different perspectives in the study of sociology in relation to our unit of study right now, which is family. What you will notice as I bring this into view is this was information, again, that I went over. I shared this with you in the PDF. I asked you to make a copy of it and to place it in a folder in your drive. When we think of the theoretical perspective of functionalism in relation to family, these are all of the different functions of a family. If we look on the left here, protecting a child or children, I mentioned to you the story of John Walsh, who was in a store. He turned his back, and when he went to go look back at his son, Adam Walsh, he was gone, and tragically he was found dead later on. And what they have in Walmart and other stores across America today is something called Code Adam, where if a child disappears, the store can be alerted. They will close the front doors, the doors of the store, in order to search for the child and to locate that individual. In addition to protection regarding the function of a family, we also have serving as an economic center, socializing the young, teaching children how to socialize. I'm going to be sending to you later today an assignment where you're going to be reading information regarding Anna and Isabel, who were deprived of socialization as well as other factors that affected their health. You're also going to be watching a documentary that also talks about another child, same situation, deprived of opportunities to socialize as well as what was needed for that individual's health. In addition to socializing the young, another function of the family is providing social and emotional support. We hope that family members will provide unconditional love and acceptance to their child or children. Not always the case. There are always cases where children are deprived of social and emotional support, and it does have an effect on them. In addition to that, we have managing reproduction. How many children a couple will decide to have, whether it's 1, 2, or 3. The Census Bureau today will tell you that the average number of children in a household is close to 2 children. If we were living about 80 to 100 years ago, it would be around 6 to 7 children. And there are a lot of reasons why it's only close to 2 children today as compared to 6 to 7 years ago. It could be the cost of children, the amount of time needed to raise them, a lot of different reasons why today we only have close to 2 children per household. In addition to managing reproduction, we have regulating sexual activity, which is the beliefs of the family regarding premarital sex, as well as reproduction after marriage. And the last function regarding family is transmitting social status. The idea being a person who is born into upper class background, middle class, lower class, or in between them, such as middle to upper class. So these are all the different functions of a family. And I asked you at the end of the session on Tuesday which one you felt was the most important and why. And of course, it might be a difficult decision to make. A number of you mentioned protection, and I would agree with you on that. But again, these are all the things that when we think of family, these are all the different functions or what is we expect to be happening in a family. Now, in addition to the theoretical perspective of functionalism, we have the conflict theory and symbolic interactionism. And if we look at the conflict theory first, the idea of male dominance, historically speaking, where husbands would use their economic power to control the way money was spent. If we think about in the 1940s and 1950s in America, You had a household where the male went off to work, the female stayed home, took care of the house as well as the children, was not earning an income. The male was the only person who was earning an income and was using that as a leverage over the female. Now, today that has changed. There are more opportunities, more situations where females are working outside of the home or working at home, where they're bringing in money into the household and have a say on how income in the house is being spent. So the idea of male dominance, we could say, has lessened, but there are still examples we hear about where husbands still feel the need that they need to control the way money is spent in a household, where they'll give their wife an allowance. It might sound outrageous, but there are instances of that. In addition to what could cause conflict in a family is the power struggle over housework. Who's going to do the dishes? Who's going to wash the clothes? Who's going to take care of the children? Who's going to do the yard work? Especially if both adults in the house are working and have to come home to deal with all those chores or tasks in making a household function. And there might be a power struggle over that. And it's something that a couple has to work out from time to time in being in a family together. And the last theory in regards to the study of sociology in our unit of study involving family is symbolic interactionism. We are very symbolic as a society, whether it's through our expressions that we give people, use of our hands, the way we speak. All of that is used to interact with other people. Words do have meaning. And the idea being is, when we think of family, at least, developing self-esteem. A child abused by their parents learns to dislike himself or herself. It's been proven through research how important of an effect that has on a child. And we could take it one step further if we think about the idea of developing self-esteem. A child that's in school, how important a teacher plays in developing their self-esteem and their self-worth. All that has an effect on a child in their schooling as well as at home. So this is information regarding the three theories in the study of sociology in relation to our unit of study on family: symbolic interactionism, conflict theory, and functionalism. What we're also going to discuss next Tuesday, or this coming Tuesday, is the reasons why people get divorced on the individual level. And I mentioned to you that the divorce rate in America today is around 60%. What is also interesting to note here as well is that if you are married today is May 14th, 2020, to your second wedding anniversary on May 14th, 2022, you have around or approximately an 85% chance of being divorced. The idea also to point out here is you can separate from someone, but things do not become legal. The divorce is not recognized until you actually file paperwork or petition with the court. And again, there are reasons why people, at least on the individual level, decide to divorce. And I'm going to show you that in a moment here. Bringing this up for you to look at. You'll notice here the causes of divorce individual level, the age of the people when they married. The later the age upon marriage, the lower the chance of divorce. That is what has been found through research, that if people wait a little bit longer, then the less likelihood that they will divorce. For a female today, the average age that they will get married at is around the age of 26. For a male, the average age that person will get married today is around the age of 28. So most of you here in this class are either 17 or 18 years of age, might in fact find yourself married in the next 10 years approximately, or 12 years. I'm not saying here that if people decide to get married at the age of 18, that it's going to automatically lead to them getting divorced, but just as what has been shown, at least, is that the later upon age that a person waits to get married, the lower the chance of divorce. Now, in addition to that, we have how many years the partners have been married. The longer the marriage, the lower the chance of divorce. Now, it has been proven that the longer the marriage goes on for, the less likelihood of divorce. I mean, is that always the case? And the answer is no. And I share with you my personal example where my parents have been married for over 30 years and decided to get a divorce. So that's not always the case, but at least there has been proven that if the longer that the marriage is, the lower the chance of divorce. And the last one, which I feel is the most important, and if not honored, can lead to divorce, is the nature and quality of the relationship. The more respect and flexibility that exists between the partners, the lower the chance of divorce. The more respect and flexibility that exists between two people, the lower the chance of divorce. And you would hope that before people decide to get married, that at least they have a good idea of who they are marrying, what type of relationship they have with that individual before they say, I do. And again, when we think about divorce, when people talk about why they saw a divorce, this tends to be the reason, right? That there is not any equality left in the marriage, that the respect has gone down, people have been inflexible, just cannot work things out. And I know I mentioned this before, but the idea being is that you marry the person for who they are, not what you want to change them into. You have to accept who they are if you're going to marry them. So those are 3 clauses on the individual level that I will discuss with you on this coming Tuesday regarding divorce. We'll also get into a sensitive topic, which is violence in the family. And there are different forms of it, such as spousal abuse being one, child abuse, one that's growing and it's alarming, elder abuse, and the most common, sibling abuse, believe it or not. So we will be touching upon that when we meet next time. Again, later today, I'll be sending out to you an assignment regarding the theoretical perspectives in the family, where you'll have a handout you'll be reading, as well as watching a video and completing a writing prompt on that. If you have any questions on this information, on the homework, please feel free to reach out to me. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be well, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.